want to respond to something that really made me angry. Alright, so Truthteller is a great interviewer, right? And here's a comment that pissed me off. FBG is extinct. He's the last one left. Now, I understand the comment section. Chicago drill fans are young. Most of them are teenagers. I understand that because I'm 32 years old. I can't honestly see somebody my age or older going on the internet saying FBG is extinct. FBG Cash was murdered last month. Now, FBG Young is his younger brother, and there's a highly anticipated interview coming that Truthteller just posted about. And here's the thing I want to tell you youngsters out there. Every documentary that you ever watched, every TV show that you watched based on kingpins, like 50 Cent Show, BMF, all of these shows, all of these documentaries, all of these YouTube videos about famous gangsters, they only lasted a short period of time. Alpo, AZ, they only lasted, what, 4 or 5 years in the streets getting money? People, I mean, why do you think they say it's a cycle? A gangster isn't going to last for more than 10 years. Of course FBG is going to go extinct. They've been around for, what, 13 years? That's a long time for the streets. Anybody in the streets is extinct within 5 years. Every major drug dealer that you've ever watched a documentary on went extinct in 5 years. That's how it is. You get a short run. Most of these guys are dead or in prison by the time they're 25. So what do you mean FBG is extinct? Every gangster is extinct before they turn 25. If you see a gangster that's 30, that's a miracle. He's an OG, right? Think about it. Go back to those documentaries about famous gangsters, the legendary gangsters, the legendary drug dealers. All of them lasted a very short amount of time, 4 to 5 years. They all were killed before they turned 25. Maserati Rick in Detroit, he died at, like, he made it to 29. Alpo, he went to prison before he was at 23. AZ, from AZ to Peyton Full Story, he was shot up and jumped out the game when he was 24. I mean, these guys didn't last but for 4 to 5 years. That's how the streets operate. You don't see drug dealers and gangsters last for 20 years straight. They go to prison and they die before they're 25. So of course, that's why it's considered a cycle. The young guys get into gangs as they join the gang or become drug dealers when they're a teenager, and then they have a few years in the streets, and then they go to prison or they die before they turn 25. And then a whole new generation sprouts up, and then they go to prison or die before they're 25. So it's stupid to say, oh, they're extinct, they don't have any more members left, it's only 2 of them left. Show me a crew, show me a drug dealer, show me a legendary gangster that lasted 13 years. Alright? Nobody did that. Big Meech, he lasted a long time, but he was being investigated and watched since 1992, and he got locked up in 05. By 92, he had been selling drugs for about 4 years, 4 to 5 years. So he lasted 4 to 5 years and was already under investigation. So he was under investigation for 13 years. He started selling drugs. 4 years into selling drugs, he's under investigation for 13 years. It just, you don't last in the streets. So it's stupid to say, oh, they're extinct, they don't have anybody left. It's a cycle. It's a young man's game. You don't see old men gangbanging or selling drugs. It's young people. So shut up with that. If you're really in the streets, then you know you're not seeing anybody out there with gray hair. You're seeing youngsters. It's young people in the gangs. It's young people in the streets because they die young. They go to prison young, then the next generation comes up and it happens to them. So it's stupid to say they must be inferior because they don't have anybody left. Nobody has anybody left. After 5 years, everybody's gone.